Well, both in the US and Europe, the mad push to electrify our cars is finally grinding to a halt. The decision to force EVs on an unwilling public was entirely 100% political, based on a catastrophist view of the climate, necessitating that we make urgent and deep cuts to emissions of a harmless trace gas essential for all plant life, which they disgracefully labelled a pollutant. Along with this were so-called efficiency standards, which were so extreme that the only way manufacturers could meet them would be by way of electric vehicles. Nobody asked for EVs, and without those totalitarian environmental policies, they would have probably never seen the light of day ever again. But the bandwagon, just like EVs themselves, is rapidly running out of charge. Subsidies and tax breaks are evaporating, and both taxes on EVs and the price of electricity are rising relentlessly, effectively negating any benefit to owning one over a regular car. And governments are slowly realising that forcing the auto market to turn on a dime and pivot away from combustion and towards a technology in which China holds all the cards and all the raw materials is consigning Western car manufacturers to a rapid and painful extinction. So at the same time as Europe looks to delay its draconian ban on combustion engines, the US is overturning Biden-era extremist environmental efficiency standards. About time too. Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer, now Sydney YouTuber. If you're one of the many MGUY viewers who are not subscribed to this channel, please take a moment to subscribe right now. It doesn't cost anything, and you'll be directly helping this channel push back on all the EV and net zero nonsense we're constantly being fed with. Just click the subscribe button down below and enable all notifications, and you won't miss out on any future videos. In the US, the environmentalists are wailing while the auto manufacturers are celebrating. Trump proposes slashing fuel economy rules in boost for gas vehicles. President Donald Trump on Wednesday proposed slashing fuel economy standards that former President Joe Biden had finalized last year in a push to make it easier for automakers to sell gasoline-powered cars. Trump's action aims to undo one of Biden's signature climate moves as he sought to incentivize more electric vehicle purchases. People want the gasoline car, Trump said. Absolutely correct. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration proposed significantly reducing the fuel economy requirements from model years 2022 to 2031, requiring 34.5 miles per gallon on average by 2031, down from 50.4 miles per gallon or 21.4 kilometers per litre. NHTSA is proposing to revise down the 2022 fuel economy standards and then proposing to hike them between 0.25% and 0.5% annually through 2031. In 2022, under Biden, NHTSA increased fuel efficiency by 8% annually for model years 2024 to 2025 and 10% for 2026. Biden's rules sought to prod automakers to build a rising number of EVs to comply, but would not have forced an immediate end to gas-powered vehicles. Well, it's hardly a prod, it's more like a bloody great shove. And another nice little earner for EV manufacturers is being scrapped as well. The proposal will also make drastic changes to the program, including proposing to eliminate credit trading among automakers in 2028, and will end some credits for fuel-saving features. NHTSA said the credit trading was a windfall for EV-exclusive manufacturers that sell credits to other non-EV manufacturers. California Governor Gavin Newsom said Trump is proposing to gut fuel economy standards that will force Americans to spend billions more at the pump while poisoning the air in our communities. And that's the lie right there, poisoning the air in our communities. This has little to do with genuine pollutants from combustion engines, which are microscopically small in today's high-tech vehicles, and everything to do with demonizing carbon dioxide. If it wasn't for this carbon dioxide derangement syndrome, people would be allowed to buy the car they want, rather than the car the government tells them to. And in Europe, the same derangement syndrome rules, and there they had planned to introduce an outright ban on combustion engines in 2035, an insane policy that would have had disastrous effects on the automotive market. But there too, perhaps they're starting to see sense. Europe changes its mind, won't ban combustion engines after all. Sales of new ICE cars will continue, but only under certain conditions. Most automakers are urging the European Union to drop the combustion engine ban planned for 2035. Car companies have legitimate reasons to push back, citing an underdeveloped charging infrastructure and higher EV prices. Additionally, there's a serious risk that the automotive manufacturing industry would lose hundreds of thousands of jobs if all companies were forced to build only electric cars. For a while, the EU seemed unwilling to budge. As recently as this past spring, the cut-off date was still in place. However, mounting pressure to change the legislation is finally working, as combustion engines will continue after the middle of the next decade. It appears a letter sent by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen persuaded the governing body to back away from the ban. In an interview with German business newspaper Handelsblatt, the Commissioner for Sustainable Transport and Tourism said the letter had been very well received in Brussels. Apostolos Tzitzikostas confirmed that combustion engines will continue past 2035, but only in cars running on low emissions, renewable fuels such as synthetic and biofuels. One relevant example is HVO 100, made entirely from hydro-treated vegetable oil derived from vegetable oils and animal fats. BMW already fuels diesel cars made in Germany with HVO 100, which is claimed to curb emissions by 90% compared to regular diesel. Synthetic gasoline is also a possibility, and it too can theoretically lower emissions by 90% versus regular gas. For several years already, Porsche has been experimenting with e-fuel. It has been making synthetic fuel at a plant in Chile since late 2022, using water and carbon dioxide processed with wind energy. At the site in South America, the e-fuel is said to be produced in a virtually carbon-neutral manner. Well, I'm all in favour of biofuels if they can eventually be made economically at scale. And don't forget, this only applies to new cars, so the existing fleet of combustion cars will be on the road for decades and decades to come. And also don't think for a minute that this will be the last U-turn from the EU. There will be incremental concessions for many more years. But we must take good news when we can, and I think the tide is turning against an all-electric future, which was a ludicrous idea to begin with, and in favour of a far more sensible mix of powertrains, whether that be efficient combustion, bio and synthetic fuels, or hybrid. And then the pure battery EVs can be relegated back to where they belong, the golf course. If you'd like to support this channel and display your anti-EV credentials to your Tesla-owning neighbours at the same time, why not buy some awesome MGUY merchandise, like this mug, this baseball cap, or this t-shirt. Each high-quality item sports the MGUY No EV sign, and they're all made to order, perfect for irritating the hell out of your local EV zealots. Visit store.mguy.tv or click the link in the description to check out the full range of products. And of course, you can always just buy me a coffee. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Thanks very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any tips or stories, go there. If you'd like to watch another video, go there. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, go there. And please subscribe to the channel.